they have this stuff inside the head is all just the same as it is for you and me. And they're talking about, and they use the word headache, and we use the word headache. Because we'd be talking about different things to what they're talking about. You know, because we're related to our environment in a different way to the way they're related to their environment. Or a pulse of joy. Could be different. I'm really curious, what's your hunch? Could it be different? Yes? Do you have yes? And if no, not? Yeah. My hunch is with those who think negatively about this, but if you said yes, can any of you say why? Could you spell it out a little bit? What would be the scenario? Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So their brains might be organized in a way quite differently to ours. But the feelings might be the same. Right? But when they talk about the feeling, they're talking about one brain state, and when we talk about the feeling, we're talking about another brain state. Right? I agree, that's how you do it. But what concerns me about that way of setting it up is that, what about the word for the feeling itself? The brain state might be different, right? You said the brain state could be different, even though the feelings are the same. Yeah? And I agree with that. But suppose now, that treats headache as a word for a brain state. Yeah? Physical foundation is different. Right. I guess what interests me is, I think the reason there's a divide here is, I think you can hear, as it were, if you tune your ear, you can hear words like headache and so on as talking about the brain state. Yeah? But it's also possible to hear them as talking about the feeling. Yeah? So that if it's talking about the brain state, and you go to the doctor and you say, I have this terrible headache, and they run a scan, and he says, yes, I know it feels like a bad headache, but look at the scan. You don't have that, right? You don't have the right structure. Yeah? Then on your way of reading headache, that makes perfect sense. Yeah? But there is another way of hearing the word headache where you say, no, I'm sure that the brain imaging is just terrific, but I was talking about the feeling, not about the brain state. And if it feels to me like I've got a headache, then I just got a headache, and it doesn't matter which particular brain state I'm in. Yeah. So if you're using the word headache like that, there can't be a lookalike of a headache. Yeah. Whereas the way you're hearing it, then there could be a lookalike of a headache. You see what I mean? And you could generate a twin earth. Yeah. So if you use the word just as a name of the sensation, then there can't be twin earth cases. Yeah. So it seems to me there's going to be a limit for any causal theory of reference when you talk about names of feelings, because it's very hard to see how there could be a causal connections to your environment, could be what fixes the references of the names for sensations. And you can think of it like this, that with a word like water or gold or something, the stuff that you're talking about is out there, and what makes you be talking about it is its connection to you. But with the sensations that are right in your mind, that's not a matter of you being causally connected to something. It's too close, right? That's your own mind. It's right in there. You don't need to be causally connected to it by some environmental relation. It's right there inside. What should I say? Inside your... Let's just say it's inside, right? There's nothing for it to be causally connected to. It's the kind of thing that other stuff gets causally connected to. There's nothing to wire us up to. It's right there at the end of the chain. You see what I mean? Okay. So that seems to me is a limit on causal theories of reference. That will actually be important in what happens next in looking at Putnam's response to the skeptic. But okay, for the moment, the point is just there's no problem of lookalikes for sensations. So no twin earth cases for sensations. So no causal or contextual determinants of meaning for the names of sensations. So Oscar 1 and Oscar 2 could be having the very same sensations and using just the same language to talk about them, even though the environment's different. And it might be, it's not obvious, because it's not obvious to me what you say about things like friendship or automobiles, but it might be that it's only sensations that are exempt from the possibility of twin earth cases. And what that would mean is that everything that's not a sensation, the name for it can be explained in terms of those causal or contextual determinants of meaning. For all other terms except the names of sensations, maybe there are causal or contextual determinants of meaning. So this thing about causation started out quite narrow, right? Kripke was only talking about proper names. And what I'm saying is, you can think of this as generalizing to maybe most of language. Maybe this is a quite general theory about representation with just some stray limitations, like the names for sensations. Okay? Are you comfortable with that? Okay. Skepticism. What does any of that have to do with classical? Let's first of all just to generalize everything we did in the first couple of units and say maybe the causal theory applies to all of language with some exceptions. But how does it apply to a classical philosophical problem like skepticism? Well, on the face of it, the way skepticism is usually stated, it's a causal hypothesis. It's a hypothesis about what's causing your perceptual experiences. The question is, and here's the brain again, are the causes of my experiences what I think they are? And what the skeptic classically says is, maybe my current perceptions are but creatures of the heat-oppressed brain. Maybe my current experiences are all being produced by evil demons. Maybe I've just gone mad, and that's why I think I'm standing in front of all these people. Maybe something's gone wrong with me. Maybe there are evil scientists making me have all those experiences. Or maybe there is just a vat. Maybe the whole universe consists of nothing but a large vat and a single brain and a whole bunch of machinery tending the vat, tending the brain, producing all these experiences. So then, my experiences don't have the causes I take them to have. So everything I think would be wrong. Right? That's what skepticism says. That's pretty much the way Descartes sets it up. That's the whole point, that once you realize there are these alternative hypotheses, you realize you can never establish that the world is the way you think it is, rather than one of these other hypotheses being true. How could you? The only thing you've got to go on is your experiences, and your experiences would be exactly the same, whichever hypothesis was correct. So the whole point here is, I could have the same thoughts whichever of these hypotheses was right. It's just that if it's really if the regular explanation is correct, and it's a whole bunch of people and tables and chairs and so on that are causing me to have my current experiences, then my thoughts are right. And if it's any of these other hypotheses that are causing me to have the experiences, then most of what I think is wrong. So, putting skepticism as a hypothesis about the causes of your experiences, the idea is maybe the causes of your thoughts are quite different to what you take them to be. And in that case, most of your thoughts would be false. So that's to say, you could have the contents of your thoughts be just the same, even though the causes of your thoughts were changed. That's what skepticism says. Is that okay? Is that recognizable? I mean, you guys all know Descartes. You can put your hand up if you've read Descartes, and this sounds like Descartes to you. Okay, not quite the same, but close enough. Okay. So the idea is that through all these skeptical hypotheses about different ways your experiences might be being caused, you keep steady the element inside your head. But the whole point about the twin earth cases is that what the stuff inside your head is representing depends on these causal or contextual factors. And when these causal or contextual factors change, the thoughts you're having change. The representations you're having change. So you can't actually hold the thoughts steady but vary their causes. There is no such thing as doing that. When the causes of your experiences change, then what you're representing changes. So you actually come out generally as holding true beliefs. I mean, you can think of it like, here is Earth with the H2O. Here is twin Earth with the XYZ. When you shift the brain from Earth to twin Earth, then the thoughts that were about H2O are now thoughts about XYZ. Right? Once you're considering something that's been in twin Earth a while. So these thoughts that the brain here is having come out as mostly true thoughts about XYZ. Right? That's just repeating the twin Earth case. Okay. So now suppose you've got a brain in a vat in the suppose you've got a brain in the regular world. Suppose you've got a brain on regular Earth. Then what it's thinking about depends on what's causing it to have its experiences. And its thoughts come out as mostly true thoughts about the causes of its experiences. So then if you consider a brain in a vat, the vat is really just another twin Earth scenario. So what's going on is different aspects of the vat tending machinery are causing the brain to have experiences, and the brain is now representing those aspects of the vat tending machinery. So most of what the brain's thinking still comes out true. If it's your causal relations to your surroundings that are generating the standards of rightness and wrongness, then it's just impossible for you to be getting it wrong about the kind of world you're in. I mean, the brains in a vat can't be thinking about real trees when they think there's a tree in front of me. Because, I mean, a brain in a vat's never met a tree. That brain has never seen a tree. All the brain in the vat has ever causally interacted with are bits of the vat tending machinery. So it can't be representing anything else than the states of bits of the vat tending machinery. In particular, it couldn't be representing trees. So what's going on is that when you ask what the word tree in vat English means, all that's going on is that word, the brain in the vat is being caused to use the word tree by electronic impulses in the vat tending machinery, certain features in the machine's program. So when the brain in the vat utters the words, produces the sign, there is a tree in front of me. What is it saying? Is it talking about actual trees? No, it is not. It is talking about some inner configuration of the vat tending machinery. And it is getting it right about that inner configuration of the vat tending machinery. So when the brain in the vat speaks, when the brain in the vat produces signs, call its language vat English, then all that's required for it to be true that there's a tree in front of you is that the electronic configuration that normally causes production of the signs, there's a tree in front of me, that electronic configuration is operating. And most of the time it must be, because that's what it is, it's the electronic configuration that usually produces those signs. So when the brain in the vat says there's a tree in front of me, it's usually going to be saying something true. If the brain in the vat says the sun is high in the sky today, what the brain in the vat is saying is going to be true. If the brain in the vat produces the words, there's a whole bunch of people and tables and chairs in front of me, that's going to be true. The signs will have meaning and what they'll be saying will be correct. Shifting from the regular world to vat English is just like shifting from Earth to twin Earth. So skepticism as a causal hypothesis doesn't make sense. Skepticism was the idea that you shift to, that when you have all these alternative causes, you can keep the thoughts you're having the same, and then in all these alternative scenarios, you're thinking something false. But what happens when you shift to these alternative scenarios is that the regular causes of the production of your signs change, so the thoughts you're having change, and then they all keep coming out true. So it doesn't make any sense to suppose that most of what you're thinking now is false. Whatever scenario you're in, most of what you're thinking right now is correct. You just know that a priori. That is just a consequence of everything we did so far. So we can just rule out skepticism. That's one venerable philosophical problem dispatched. Well, there you go. Don't say we don't make progress in this class. Right. Okay, no further questions? Oh, yes?
There's still skepticism about whether my thoughts have any content at all. What if I move to another environment, but my thoughts content having hooked up in a normal enough way with the objects there, and there's something determined situation, and then the mean scientists keep shuttling me around.
Yeah.
So it does seem exactly like this, and so it seems to me that my thoughts are so different sort of skepticism. It's not that they're false, but that's their meaning that's false.
Yeah. That would be a really alarming scenario, right? Because Descartes thought, well, when you ask what's certain, well, not much is certain because of all these different scenarios, right? In which case, most of my thoughts would be different. Right? But you're saying, well, but Descartes said, well, I know that I'm thinking. That much is fine. You know what your thoughts are, even if you don't know about the world around you. And you're saying, maybe you don't even know that you're thinking. Well, thanks. That seems worse than ordinary skepticism, right? Because ordinary skepticism says, maybe you don't know about the world around you, but you know about your mind all right. And you're saying, maybe you don't even know about your mind. I agree, actually. That does seem an alarming scenario. And if you've got a causal theory of reference, then if you've got no stable causes, because you keep shuttling. Then there's no saying what you're thinking about. So you're not having any thoughts. That would be possible. But you could say, if I am thinking, then most of what I'm thinking is right. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, what Descartes was thinking was, I'm definitely thinking, but it might all be a mistake. Right? So we can rule out that position. We can have, I don't know if I'm thinking or not, but on the other hand, if I am thinking, it's mostly right. Is that a fair summary? Yeah. Yeah, that's an extremely unsettling thought, on which I'll dwell next time. Anything else on that? Okay, thank you very much.